African news update on top accolade news. The headlines: Congo offers $5 million reward for M23 rebel leaders. Clashes erupt in Nairobi as church donations sparks political debate. NUP leader accuses powerful Ugandans of stealing public funds and driving poverty. Congo seeks diversified partnership with US. In politics, Congo offers $5 million reward for M23 rebel leaders. The Democratic Republic of Congo has offered $5 million reward for the capture of 3 M23 rebel leaders, including former electoral chief Colonel Nanga, military commander Sultani Makenga, and political leader Bertrand Bisimwa, who were sentenced to death last year for treason. Despite the bounty, the task of capturing them seems nearly impossible, as M23, bolstered by Rwandan troops, continue to dominate eastern DR Congo, controlling major cities like Goma and Bukavu. President Felix Tshisekedi has called for international sanctions against Rwanda, accusing them of supporting the rebels and looting Congolese resources like gold and coltan. However, Rwanda denies these accusations. Meanwhile, the people of eastern DR Congo face mounting death tolls and displacement as the region's vast mineral wealth becomes a battleground for control. Still in politics, clashes erupt in Nairobi as church donations sparks political debate. In Kenya, police have clashed with protesters outside a church in Nairobi after they attempted to occupy the building in response to a controversial donation from President William Ruto. The 20 million shilling gift to the Jesus Winner Ministry has sparked outrage, especially among young Kenyans struggling with the high cost of living. While Ruto defended the donation, framing it as a moral investment, critics accuse him of using the church for political gain. Last year, both Catholic and Anglican leaders rejected donation from the president, citing concerns about the church's involvement in politics. As protests intensified, several people were arrested, but church service proceeded under heavy security. The situation highlights growing discontent with Ruto's economic policies, including recent tax hike, which many argue have exacerbated the nation's financial strain. Moving on in politics, NUP leader accuses powerful Ugandans of stealing public funds and driving poverty. National Unity Platform leader, better known as Bobby Wine, has accused a small group of powerful Ugandans of plundering the nation's resources and driving millions into poverty. Addressing supporters ahead of the upcoming by-election, he criticized a wealthy elite who, he said, control access to public funds, steal billions, and perpetrate corruption that has left schools, hospitals, and factories in ruins. He also highlighted the mass exodus of young Ugandans seeking work abroad due to economic hardship and accused the elite of using state forces to suppress dissent. He urged Ugandans to choose sides in the battle between the oppressed majority and a small group of oppressors. Shifting focus to economy, Congo seeks diversified partnership with US. The United States has expressed interest in exploring potential partnership with the Democratic Republic of Congo for its vast critical mineral resources, following discussions about a possible minerals for security deal. The DR Congo, rich in minerals like cobalt, lithium, and uranium, has been battling Rwandan-backed M23 rebels who have taken control of a significant portion of its territory. While the US State Department has signaled its openness to such partnership, the Congolese government remains focused on diversifying its international partnership. Although no official proposal has been made, talks have been ongoing with US private sector investment seen as a potential way of developing Congo's mineral wealth responsibly. Experts note that while US companies aren't yet operating in Congo, the country's strategic mineral reserves could be key to the future of global tech supply chains. You are watching the African News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Still in economy, African Finance Corporation pushes for domestic capital investment. The African Finance Corporation (AFC) is stepping up efforts to mobilize domestic capital for investment across the continent as geopolitical shift and reduced aid from the US and Europe pose challenges for developing nations. The CEO of the AFC emphasized the importance of tapping into Africa's own resources, particularly pension funds, which could contribute up to $20 billion in the long run. The AFC is already piloting initiatives to attract pension fund investment into infrastructure projects, including in Nigeria, Botswana, Angola, and Kenya. The AFC is optimistic that this approach will help boost funding for critical infrastructure, even as global aid flows shrink and private investment from the Middle East and Asia increases. Moving to security. Nearly 1,000 civilians killed in military drone strike across Africa. A new report has raised alarming concerns about the increasing use of military drones across Africa, revealing that nearly 1,000 civilians have been killed and 100 more injured in just the last 3 years. Drones, often imported from countries like Turkey, China, and Iran, have been deployed in conflict zones such as Ethiopia, Mali, Sudan, and Burkina Faso, which leads to no accountability for the civilian harm caused. The report, titled Death on Delivery, describes a disturbing pattern of erratic drone strikes that have hit civilian areas like markets and residential zones, resulting in hundreds of deaths. Analysts are calling for urgent international action to regulate these growing threats, warning that without oversight, the use of drones in African conflicts will continue to claim more innocent lives. In entertainment, Ghanaian actress called for prayers as she battles health crisis. As she celebrates her 35th birthday, actress and socialite Moesha Budong has made an emotional plea for prayers as she continues her battles with health challenges, including the effects of a stroke, speech impairment, and paralysis. Moesha shared that she has seen improvement, regaining some of her speech and memory, and is hopeful that with divine intervention and the support of her loved ones, she will fully recover. Moesha's heartfelt birthday wish is for complete healing, and she's asking her fans, colleagues, and the public to join her in petitioning God on her behalf. Now in sports, Nigeria dominates South Africa 3-1 in FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifier. The race to qualify for the FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup continued on Saturday, March 8, with an exciting matchup across Africa. Nigeria showcased their strength, winning 3-1 against South Africa, with a brace from Shakirat Moshood leading the charge. Kenya pulled up an impressive 2-0 upset over Uganda, while Cameroon cruised past Ethiopia with a dominant 5-2 victory. Guinea and Sierra Leone shared the spoils on the thrilling 2-2 draw, and Botswana stunned Algeria with a 2-1 win. The competition is heating up as teams push for a spot at the World Cup. That concludes our African news update for today. Stay tuned for more African news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I am Ojo Orumi Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.